Let's talk to retail expert Kate Hardcastle. And Kate, always good to see you. Look, why would anyone be interested in a UK high street retailer of electrical goods when we know that online tend to do these things much quicker and much cheaper?
Hi Ben, well I think you're right there. Certainly a very challenging time for retail still, and we know that certainly brands who have a high street presence really have to invest in perhaps one of two roads, which is do they look at price and get really competitive there, or the store infrastructure and the service and the environment in which you sell. I think the interesting thing outside in on Currys is that they've dealt with many of us here in the UK, up to 80% it reckons of households, and that could be really interesting for a brand that maybe wants to come in and make a quick opportunity work for it within the marketplace. And if you do look at JD.com or indeed the other people mentioned, it would give them as online experts a really instant database and one which was with a trusted brand here in the UK.
And the issue for so many of these retailers, not just Currys, is how they combine that online price and convenience with service. And it's the likes of John Lewis used to do this really well. You could go in, touch it, play with it, work out if you liked it before you bought it. Is there still a niche for retailers who do that bit of service very well?
I think so. As technology becomes more complicated for many of us, we do look for that guidance and expertise. But I visited a Currys store just this weekend, and what I did find is it's still very much a house of brands. That means that showrooming becomes really quick and easy for those who've got a mobile phone in hand and can quickly look at that brand and that product or something similar online and just really be motivated by cost. The opportunity for electrical, obviously, is if you can create a brand that offers those service packages. Now, we know that Currys have done a lot in this environment, including the idea that you can dial live through a video link into a store to speak to a representative to guide you through some of those purchases. So they're looking at ease and convenience all the way through. Whether that's enough to keep them salient as one of our biggest technology brands here in the UK, or that makes them right for the takeover, we've yet to see. But what we do know is this year, as we've just heard, we've gone into recession now in the UK. That idea of spending things that perhaps you don't have to buy, the items that perhaps can be put to one side or you can wait a little bit longer, is going to be more prevalent for consumers wanting to tighten the budget again.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting point. And one of the reasons that many people have written off the UK high street, they say it just doesn't work, the numbers don't add up in the way that they used to. But, you know, did we think we'd be here, Kate, talking about a big international retailer wanting to spend a lot of money on a UK high street retailer? It proves that someone somewhere thinks there might be life in that model yet.
I do think that there is life in the electrical model because so much more of our life is revolving around that. You know, it's not just a case of the PC and the television and the washing machine. Now our doorbells are integrated, and therefore that means that there's still a whole opportunity of array of products to sell. It's just making sure that you've got the brand to do it under, the banner, the trust, etc. One of the biggest challenges I think in the whole marketplace is the D2C offer, so that means direct to consumer, and that's where the brands themselves have made a lot of headway, Ben, in terms of how they actually can connect with the consumers directly, don't even involve a retailer, and they can make an opportunity work for them there too. So that's always going to be a difficult one to manage in that marketplace too.
Yeah, always keeping retailers on their toes, aren't they? Kate, always good to get your insight into these sort of issues. Thank you, Kate Hardcastle there, joining us live from the newsroom.